And so I actually woke up with this idea, and I woke my husband up at 3 in the morning that day. And, I'm like tapping on the shoulder. I'm like, wake up. Like, I think I need to write a book. And he's like, yeah, okay, go to sleep. It's 3 a.m. He's like, what's this crazy lady waking me up for? But I couldn't keep that idea out of my head. I latched onto this now. It might seem like an odd connection, right? Disney cast member, why a book about 9/11? Well, it actually came about because my husband, Jonathan Lynch, is the son of Robert Henry Lynch Jr., who was the property manager at Two World Trade in New York City. So on 9/11, my father-in-law called home. He actually called home to say that he was safely out of the buildings when the attacks happened. And unfortunately, that was the last my husband and his family would ever hear from him. It took weeks to learn anything else, and they unfortunately never recovered my father-in-law. But what they did learn from others that saw him there that day was that he did go back inside to help others evacuate. And so he did lose his life, saving others. So I reached out to Carla, and she was like, you should talk to this Eric Custer guy. And I'm like, I don't know who that is, but he sounds great. And now, having gone through the program, I can see just how incredible he is and the fruits of the incredible work he's done here. And so once I got to chatting with him, I learned more about Creators Institute and how we could work together. And he had told me that, we could have a published book by the late summer, August 2021, which is what we're on track for now. And when we talk a bit more about the topic of the book, you'll see how that timing couldn't be more perfect and truly serendipitous. So from there, I really just took advantage of everything that the Creators Institute has to offer. I mean, that whole classroom setting and that being able to learn with that group was crucial to the development of my book and this whole process. Being able to collaborate with my editors and fellow authors and working with them to help set those hard goals, right? Because as you mentioned, writing a book, it's achievable, but it's not always easy, especially if you're working a full-time job and you have other commitments. But being able to work with people who are just as dedicated as I am to making this dream a reality was the absolute best thing I could have asked for out of this entire experience. Just the community of folks I had around me and everything that Creators Institute, instilled in me to be able to propel this forward. And in doing so, we were also able to raise $4,000 for Tuesday's Children, which is an organization that's really near and dear to my family's heart, as they were created out of the 9/11 tragedy and now have gone on to support 9/11 families as well as other folks impacted by war violence. I just never imagined being able to have this type of community around me. Just even in our cohorts within the Creators Institute,